All right, district breakdown time. There's my guy Matt Diggs from theoldcoach.com. We're talking 7-5A Division II. How about that Lovejoy Leopards team last year? And there's a lot of fun teams in this year too. Frisco and the speedster Evan Stewart over at Liberty. Talk about how you think this is going to hash out.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun. There is turnover in the coaches. I think the most notable coach we're losing Coach Rogers over at Denison and replacing it with Brent Whitson, the former South Grand Prairie coach, which you say South Grand Prairie, and that's been a program that in 6A, we'll talk about 6A in a few weeks, always top tier team. So, when you have him coming to Denison, you're going to have quality. But this district is really loaded with good coaches as well and a lot of good players. So when I look at it, I still think it's Lovejoy's district. I mean, you have such good players. Obviously, it's hard to lose, the Westerveld and the Ruckers of the world. But, they got the little Rucker coming back, Trent Rucker, the safety. So they'll have a little bit of that. And anytime you have a coach's son on staff, Jackson Lavender, Coach Lavender's boy, you're going to have that intelligence and that kind of that 12th man on the field when you have the coaching acumen. And I saw him when he was just a little kid, just like being a ball boy over when they're at Garland and at Wichita Falls. And this is a kid who's grown up in football. And it wouldn't surprise me if you saw some trick plays with Lavender, wide receiver, maybe throw him out, do a little halfback passes. He's going to be a special kid. But I think, you never see something like Coach Rogers leaving. Obviously, wanted to kind of just have some small schools and just have a different pace of life. But Denison is absolutely loaded as well. They got the quarterback coming back, Caleb Hevner, Jadarian Price, the running back, and Damian Smallwood, who is no small man. I stood next to him when I saw the Lovejoy Denison game, and I'm a 6'5" guy myself, and he's listed at 6'5", but he had a couple inches on me. So either I'm getting shorter or he's got better posture than I do. I mean, he's a big kid over at Denison. So Denison is a team I'm really looking at. But dark horses, you kind of referred to it earlier. I really like Frisco Liberty as the third team. When I was doing research for this piece, I saw a piece that your boy Pat and Joseph Hoyt did on the quarterback who was a sophomore last year, Kelder Cluster. He's going to be a special quarterback, and he's got probably the best receiver coming back in the district in Evan Stewart, like you talked about, the throw to. That is going to be a dangerous combination. And if you remember, I know as an NFC East guy, Jay Ajayi, running back, played at Frisco Liberty. His little brother, Daniel Ajayi, is going to be linebacker for Frisco Liberty. This is a team that is loaded for bear, and they're going to be knocking on Denison's doorsteps for the number 2 spot. I'm really excited about this district. There's going to be some really good teams playing.
Some good games too, and your boy Stewart's going to help out the quarterback. All you got to do is do a couple moves at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
We got ourselves a 60-yard play or some sort.
That's right.
Hey, talk a little bit about the Frisco Raccoons, if you don't mind. They're always with their new head coach. I was thinking about this a while ago. Everybody talks about Cedar Hill, Katy matching up in the state finals 3 years in a row. But one of my favorite matchups is always in the second round. Frisco against South Oak Cliff. They've had a little Superman versus Lex Luger type, arch nemesis deal where Sock got him that first year, but they kind of stomped him out. But the last two, there was a nice little defensive game by Frisco. Talk about Frisco's defense and how they may be able to slow some of these teams down in the district and maybe on in the playoffs.
Yeah, Frisco's really talented this year, offensive line and defensive line. And Frisco has always brought size to the table. And when Frisco really shines is when they have those skill players, like we've seen for the last couple of years. This year, I don't know if Frisco has the skill players. They're going to have some bigs. Cole Hudson's coming back. Brandon Miyazono he was the sophomore of the year. He's going to be a linebacker for this team. So when we talk about Frisco, they are very big on the offensive line and the defensive line. But where's that explosion going to come from? So like you talked about, they're going to have to win games 10-7 this year. And they have the players to do it, but I don't know if they can slow down Liberty, Lovejoy, and Denison. That's why I kind of have them slotted in as my fourth team. And I don't know if this is going to be a great year for Frisco because there are some teams that are kind of nipping at their toes, like a team like Prosper Rock Hill and Frisco Lebanon Trail. Those are teams that I have as kind of dark horses where in every year, Ward, we talk about this, there's always a Frisco team that comes out of nowhere. and there's always a team like a Frisco Memorial or Reedy or a team like that that just surprises you. And I think it's going to be Frisco Liberty this year, but it could be a team like Frisco Lebanon Trail that gets to that fourth spot, or even Prosper Rock Hill, like I mentioned. So it's going to be fun to watch. There's going to be some really good games in this district. And even the bottom three teams who I have as Memorial, Princeton, and Lake Dallas, they're not going to be pushovers. If you overlook them, they're going to put a loss on you, and then you're going to have to win a game you're not supposed to make it to the district title.
Rock Hill's really improving there in their second season coming up here. Is what you're
second season, they got a good quarterback, Brenner Cox, and they're really winning in all sports right now. It's football is the only one that you look at is kind of a little bit behind. Prosper ISD obviously has a tradition of excellence, and Rock Hill is expected to do the same. That's a growing area, and I think they're going to compete just like we're seeing all the Frisco schools. You're not really spending 10 to 12 years for them to compete. School opens 2 to 4 years, they're competing. I expect Rock Hill to do the same.
Yeah, you do see that at a lot of new schools these days. All right, I appreciate it. Hey, we're going to hit the last of our 5A districts next week, 8-5A, with the North Point, the coaches' row, as I call it, with the Hal Watson, Randy Jackson, and Sam Harrow out there. So look forward to talking to you next week.
That's going to be a hard one to pick, so I'll have to do my research on that one.